All right, guys, good morning to you. Today is the 3rd of September, 2025. CRAZII Market Talk with KEL. Crazy. Anytime, anywhere. Now, good news is that we are really 97% ready for the day chart for our app. We are really very close to ready. All right. So, which means that very soon we will let you guys try the day chart function. And with the day chart function, definitely your trading will definitely be better because you can see the market differently. You can basically put in the orders for day chart. You can also look at the day chart to know exactly what to do for the day. So I think that is going to be a very exciting time for all of us. And trust me, I have put in a lot of effort to do this. So you can see my receding hairline is really getting a bit no more hair. So it's all these are hard work, and I really hope that you guys appreciate what we are doing right now. So that's why this morning itself, right, I kind of worked pretty hard in the night until about 3 a.m. So this morning woke up a little bit late, so that's why everything pushed back by 15 minutes. So apology on that, but that is what a good thing. Okay. All right. So let's just look at the market today. All right. Before that, disclaimer apply as usual. Do your risk management. We will be covering gold. We will be covering crude, the two golds, the yellow gold and the black gold of the market today. So let's watch this and be very close onto this later on. Yeah. But before that itself, we'll look at the fundamentals of the market and what is happening in the market right now. Okay, let's go. Now, first of all, the US Dow Jones basically lost 250 points to kick off this month of September on the tariff rules and rising bond yield. Now, it's something I covered yesterday in the MAO video. Now, the thing is this. Usually in the month of September, it's all right. It's not just as like a seasonal thing. It's because September, usually the funds, like the mutual funds, the retirement funds, they will take this opportunity to review their portfolio. And it seemed to be clear that yesterday, some of the, what they call this retirement fund, they decided to offload some position of the technology companies that have been doing very well. Now, you must understand they have been buying a lot of these technology shares, right? That's why you see the congregation of so much money is on the Magnificent Seven, yeah? So the thing is this, if they take profit, obviously the whole market will fall. And I told you before that will happen. And if you look carefully, it's Bitcoin fell the week before, and now the Nasdaq, and later on the Dow. So you see how this thing actually moved together. Yeah, very interesting. So we also know that the bond yield has basically created a bit of problem there itself. Let's take a look. Okay, so Nvidia lost about 2% last night, and of course Amazon and Apple lost about 1%. They actually lost more, but because of Google came out this court deal came out better, so that's why it pulls back the technology. In fact, the tech went down quite a fair bit last night before the pullback up. Yeah, I'll talk about this later. So the thing is this, we all know that the court now rules most of Donald Trump's global tariffs are illegal. So the question is this, if it's illegal, must Donald Trump and his administration give back the money that they collected? This is a very big question here itself, yeah? So apparently now the US Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit determined in the 7-4 ruling that only the Congress has authority to apply the sweeping levies. So again, this is going to be very interesting. Now, the 10-year yield jumped to 4.2%, while the 30 years up to 4.97%. Now, that is very close to the 5% that the market will actually rattle. Now, when the yield goes up, that means the bond goes down. That means if I buy bonds, I actually lose money in a way. I must understand that, yeah? So that is making people more worried, because when your country is doing well, people will buy your bond, all right? Even though it's like low interest, but it's a very safe thing. But if you look at the yield that's going up, I mean, the bond price coming down, people are actually selling the bonds away because they are kind of worried right now. All right. So the thing is this, if US is to refund the billions brought in from the tariff, oh my goodness, that will simply stress up the fiscal situation. So that means that the Federal Reserve will really need to pump and print money later on. And that is one reason why you can see gold price shooting through the rocket, because if the dollar is to be printed, the gold price will go higher. So that is why the gold is going up. All right. So the thing is this, the 30-year is a headwind, no doubt about it. That is a very big thorn in the equity market. So let's see what will happen as we move on. Yeah, but it's very important that we must not watch out this. Now, this basically thing is that China massive military parade is closed to the public. That's interesting. They have shut down windows and empty offices. So basically, the CCP will celebrate the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II in the Pacific. All right, so we can see that Xi Jinping has invited Russia, Vladimir Putin, and Kim Jong-un to attend. Now, I saw the video from Kim Jong-un arriving in the very powerful train, a very armored train. Yeah. So all this actually tells you that the world is actually moving places right now. The Europeans themselves are actually preparing. The Asian, so-called the China and Korea, they are actually also doing their own thing. And America itself is like looking at them, and then they know that they are kind of weak in this money, but they're trying to show that they are strong. So you can see all this are really in armor chart. I'll send you the video later on. Yeah. Now, Salesforce basically start to confirm layoff because they need lesser head for with AI. Indeed, when AI comes to the picture, more and more people will lose their job. And I tell you this is the one problem that you must understand. It will happen to all of us. Okay? Seriously, you can see right now that if your job itself can be replaced by human robots, I mean, by robots in a way, then I can tell you that prepare to be careful for your job itself. Yeah. Right, Google shares basically jumped up 8% after they avoid a worst case penalty in the antitrust case itself, right? A federal judge basically said that Google can keep its Chrome browser but be barred from exclusive contract, all right? That's something that we all know. Okay, Warren Buffett is kind of disappointed with Kraft Hayes because of the stock split, okay? Because he knows that a stock split means dilution, all right? So definitely he's not going to be happy because he's the largest shareholder, yeah? And of course, Donald Trump is trying his best to look for the Supreme Court to expedite the ruling for the tariff appeal. We all know that he's trying his best, but I kind of feel that this time on he may not get what he wants. Yeah. So this is going to be very interesting here as well. So indeed, the stock market will maybe have more selling if Donald Trump do not get anything out from this week itself. And of course, this week we have a lot of news coming in. Let's take a look at the calendar. All right, so for today is where Donald Trump will be speaking at approximately 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. The Singapore time. All right, I think I'm based in, let me see my time now. Might say Singapore. Okay, so it'll be 2 a.m. Singapore time. Okay, then this week, let's do this week first. Okay, so we have the numbers. ISM manufacturing PMI came in lower than expected. The market was at 49 because it was 48 previously, became at 48.7. So it's actually lower. So the market didn't like it. So today, nothing much, only Donald Trump speaking as usual. He tried to prop the market, definitely. And on Thursday, where the ADP comes in. Now, the ADP was a stunner last time. It was expecting to be up, but it came out 104. So this time around, they're looking at a forecast of 71. Wow, even lower, yeah? So if this number is lower than 71,000, the market will really rattle, yeah? So let's see what happened Thursday, coming out at this 8:15 p.m. And of course, we have the next thing will be the Friday. We will have the non-farm payroll. Incredible. We are double-digit number. I mean, double-digit thousand now. And this is really not good at all. Yeah, because when Donald Trump basically chased away the immigrants, definitely you will have lesser people involved in jobs. And that is going to be very equivalent to the economy itself. So this number is not good. Yeah. And if the unemployment data uptick is bad, because now you can see the current number is 4.2, they are forecasting 4.3. Oh, that's not good. In fact, it's creeping up. If we come out 4.4, the market will really, really shake. So that's why, guys, this week is going to be quite a crazy week. So traders, please be careful, okay? All right, so that is the fundamental side. Let's look at the technical side. That's all we're looking for. Okay, so for the technical side, let's take a look at the Dow Jones first to begin the day. Okay, so today Dow Jones is kind of interesting. Let's take a look. The Dow Jones this morning opening price is at 45,258. And the MLP is actually above it. Let's take a look. The MLP is 45,401. So by right, when the market opens and below MLP, it's a sell. But because the pivot one is at the bottom. So basically, it becomes a supporting ground. So unless the market breaks below the 45,045 level, then the selling will really kick in. Now today is a CCYR color change from yellow to red. So which means that by right itself today, the market will likely to sell if the market stays below OP. Okay, so at the moment now, the market is overall still positive because of the KSI, the KCX, the MA are all there. But the thing is this, if the market really loses this number, because you notice this right now, the MA 30 and the pivot 1 is very near, it's a step. So that will become a very strong support. And of course, yesterday you can see the Dow Jones was supported, and that's why it rebounded from there. So today, if the market tests it again, people who short the market, you must buy back some first and observe the market. Now, some people ask me this question, Kel. When we go to near a technical level, why must we actually consider to take profit and don't add position there? Now, let's understand this, the word support. It's like telling you now, you're jumping from a cliff, okay? There's a support at the bottom. Let's say it's a bed of ice, okay? So if you jump onto it, by right, it should support your weight, right? But of course, if it cannot support your weight, you go lower. So the thing is this, before you think that you will go lower, why don't you take it as a form of support first and then take profit from at that point? So which means that you jump at a high level. Once you hit the support level, you just buy back some position first and observe the market. If the market really rebound, at least you get yourself a good deal. But if the market really cannot stay above and start to crumple, okay, then you can take some of the profit that you made and then try to build a position again with a tighter stop loss to basically get the benefit of that. So think about this right now for a moment, yeah? So 45,000 is also a psychological level. It's a very big number. So the Dow has been staying above 45,000 for quite a long while already, right? So because of all this itself, there is a possibility the market will basically stop around here, take a breather. Okay, and because tonight itself there's not much data, so again the market may play around this area here. So traders, watch out for that. Okay, so that is for the Dow. Now, if the Dow goes up, of course, the target will be MLP 45,401 if the market stays above OP later, right? For what reason? Let the market decide that. Okay, next one is the Nasdaq. Okay, I told you I'll share about this. Now, Nasdaq basically had a very, very long tail last night. Oh my God, look at the tail. Ooh, very big. So what do we get from here? Now, traders, I know that traditionally you will say, KEL, this is like a double support right now, and it could be a buy zone. Now, to me, we use CRAZII, so we just have to follow what the CRAZII rule says. OP is a key. Above OP, we buy. Below OP, we sell. It's as simple as that. So if the market has a long reversal, are you telling me that it won't go down? Well, we have seen before, a long reversal, the market can still go down, right? So it's not really that a long reversal means the market has to go up. As a matter of fact, a long tail, the only reason for it to go up is the market must stay above OP the next day, which is today. So if the OP today is at 23,333, or the MLP is 23,392, the market has to stay above OP first to start the movement, okay? So with the KSI now red, okay, and the KCX now having blue, there's still going to be a possibility for the market to go down. Especially now we are very near to the pivot 1 at 23,251, which this morning the market missed it and recovered. So if the market breaks below 23,251, then we can see again another challenge for all this level here itself. So take note of that, yeah. But if the market stays above OP, then different thing. Then the market will recover to go back up again to the MLP, which is at 23,392. Okay. So the thing is this, yesterday, why the Nasdaq recovered? There's three reasons. Number one, it was because of Google, the antitrust. Two, it was because the price came down. A lot of buyers came in yesterday. Three was because that people was looking at maybe because of this bond the yield going up itself, right? And then there's a reason for printing money. So printing money was always favor the technology. So that's why you can see that the market actually recovered. But again, I say this once again, once the market feels that there's a reason to panic and if they press the panic button, then the selling will continue. Yeah. Today, the pivot 1 to pivot 2 is quite a far distance. And you notice this, the KCB was traded yesterday already. So which means that the next KCB, which is here, was also traded. So basically means that there's no KCB. So if the market really breaks below this number, the market can have a free fall all the way to here, which is very possible if the market suddenly want to go absolute on this. But for technology shares to come down so much, right, it's really have to be liquidifying of position. Yeah, so someone or some funds will have to liquidify their position. Okay, all right. So that is the Nasdaq. All right, today we talk about Nasdaq. So the next market I'll talk about will be on crude oil and gold, but I'm gonna skip this for the second segment itself. Yeah, so those who want to jump away, don't do that if you're listening to gold. I'll talk about gold and crude oil later in the second segment. Now jump to the next market. Today is the Bitcoin at the moment. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, we do see buying coming in. That's the reason why you see when the market is selling, we have the first-hand information way beforehand. Way beforehand, we already know that Bitcoin will sell. And that's why on that day, when the Bitcoin hit 25,000, 125,000, I tell everyone around me, please get out Bitcoin. It will come down. I was being laughed at. People say, like, I'm KEL, you are not getting it correct, blah, blah, blah. But again, you see, my indicator don't lie. So we know what we are seeing, okay? So the thing is this, okay? The thing is this, you can see that after that, the market did rebound here because the boys came in to buy. So we are having the same thing over here. So yesterday, while the stock market is coming down, a friend of mine asked me from China, must I sell the Bitcoin? I said, no, for today, you don't need to sell because today is above OP and so forth. Now today, the market now is now trading slightly below OP while the KSI is green. So how do we deduct from here? So number one is sell, right? When it's below OP, that means a sell already. No need to ask me. And it's a red bar, right? So it's still a sell, okay? But because the KSI is green, so the selling will not be strong. So it may take a while for it to come down. So traders, you may need to wait for a while. Let it play around first. Now, the upside for this Bitcoin today can be as high as the MA30, which is at 112,889, right? Somewhere around there. Okay, so this is the potential upside, and because its KSI is green, so the upside is actually there. Now, if the market starts to sell instead, then the market may go down to the MLP, which is at 110,139, or lower, the most is about 109,340. That's a pivot 2 level. Now, the thing is this, I think Bitcoin has a very strong base at 107,000. Yeah, very strong. So every time when the Bitcoin comes to 107,000, the market will rebound. So for people who like to buy some Bitcoin to keep, you may want to observe again 107,000 when the next time the selling comes in. All right. Okay, so that is the Bitcoin sharing with all of you. Now, how about Ethereum today? Now, Ethereum has the same thing, but a bit different. Ethereum basically is still a sell at the moment. Both KSI and KCX are actually selling. So it's very different from what you saw on the Dow Jones, even though the market is still down, on an overall basis. Yeah. Okay. So one thing to note is that, wait a minute, let me double check 79 diamonds around me. Here we go. Now, I remember this diamond over here. So there's a 4 diamond over here. So by right, you draw a line across it. So as long as the market is below the diamond line and the bar is actually red color, it's meant for selling. Okay, so that's why Bitcoin, Ethereum goes down the last few days. Okay, so the diamond line is very, very powerful. At the moment now, I just saw gold hitting a new high again. I think 3545 is being tested again. All right. Now the thing is this. Some people ask me now on the site, KEL, should we sell gold? Now, if you didn't buy position, then don't sell. Wait for a while, yeah, because we have a problem here. If US really need to give back the money itself to the tariff, give it the money, right? It's going to be very, very painful because I'm very sure they utilized the money already. So the thing is this: if really they have to return back the money, wow, you can imagine how much money must they print along the way. That's going to be very, very scary here. So traders, you must be careful on that. But on the next thing is that, right, the gold price is definitely at a very high price. So we'll talk about this later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, so that is for Ethereum. So if Ethereum basically breaks above 43.29, we can see Ethereum rushing towards the MA, which is 44.25 level, okay? But the thing is this, if the Ethereum continue to sell, then the downside can be as far as 41.57, yeah. So traders, to me itself, Ethereum is not the best thing to buy right now. At the moment, it's quite cloudy, so give it a miss. All right, don't trade this guy because the upside and downside is kind of limited, right, at the moment. Okay, all right, so this will be the cryptocurrency market. So let's look at the currency like euro. What happened? So you can see at the moment, right, yesterday, euro came down. So people ask this question, hey, I thought the dollar actually strengthened. No, the dollar didn't lose control, but it's just that because of the yield that's going around the Europe side. So if the yield is actually going up, I mean, the bond market is coming down. And the bond price coming down is because people feel that there is a bit of worry. So if you watch my MAO video, you will know that now regionally, not only just US, but UK is having a problem right now. Yeah, the inflation itself is really creeping up, and that caused a bit of stir at the moment. So that is why yesterday the euro currency came off despite the dollar wasn't that good. And of course, you can see that there's a lot of buying in the euro, but still the market sold off. So which means that if euro later recover, right, euro can easily return back to this point here as well. Yeah, so watch out for this. This could be a buy in the near term for euro traders. Okay, all right. Okay, so that will be all for this morning first half session. Now, for those who miss it, don't worry because we're going to have videos coming up for you. Yeah, gold and crude oil will be next. So, guys, stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll talk about gold and crude oil in depth in the later part in the second segment. So, don't go away. Stay tuned. Okay, see you in 2 minutes' time. Thank you.